Jacobs. Today we are going to be looking at how to solve number bases using the long division method. I received a lot of messages from students that they only understand how to convert to base 10 and then divide back to get the value. So today, quickly we are going to be looking at how to use long division to solve these two examples. So let's start with the first example. Example number 1, which is 302 in base 6 divided by 5 in base 6 using our long division method. Using long division method. Now, before we can divide here, this one here is known as the dividend, while this one dividing this is known as the divisor. So we are going to create a multiplication table for this divisor in base 6. Now, let's create the timetable here on this side. We are going to have 5 in base 6 times 1 in base 6. This is going to give me what? 5. 5 in base 6 times 2 in base 6. 5 times 2 is what? 10. But in base 6, our 10 is not allowed. So we divide this by 6. That's how many 6 can you see in 10? That's 1, remainder 4. So therefore my answer here is what? 14. Alright, so we go to the next table. 5 in base 6 times 3 in base 6. So this is going to give me 15. 5 times 3 is 15. So we divide 15 by 6 again to have, how many 6 are nice in 15? That is 2, remainder 3. Therefore this gives me what? 23. Now the next one is 5 in base 6 times 4 in base 6. This is going to give me 5 times 4 is what? 20. Then we divide 20 by what? 6. 6 in 20 is 3 remainder 2. So that gives me what? 32. Now you might be asking yourself, where am I going to solve the multiplication table? Now we start this multiplication table at a number less than the base we are working with, which is what? Base 6. So since I have base 6, I'm going to start my multiplication table at 5 times 5. I hope you get that. So let me clean this. Sorry, I can't provide a duster now. Let me just use my hand. So we have 5 in base 6 times 5 in base 6. This is going to give me 25. Then we divide by 6 again. 6 in 25 is what? That's 4, remainder 1, which is 41. Alright, so this is the table I need for this long division method. So now we go. So I have my divisor outside, which is my 5 in base 6, and I have my dividend inside, which is 302 in base 6. Now I believe we are all familiar with long division method. It's just that this is a different case because it's number basis. Now let's do this. How many 5 can you see in 30? Work with the first two digits here. Now you now come to your multiplication table. Look for the number that is closest to 30. Now in my multiplication table now, what number is that? That is 20 what? 23. So therefore my 5 in 30 is going to give me what value? That is what? 3. So I'm going to put the 3 here at the top. So we have 3. And don't forget, there's a rule in long division, which is you divide first, you multiply second, you subtract, and you do what? You bring down. Okay, we are all taught this in primary school. Now I have divided, which I have gotten what? 30. Now I multiply 3 times 5. 3 times 5 in base 6 is going to give me what? 23. So I have my 23 here. So what am I doing this now? I have divided, I have multiplied. Next step is to do what? Subtract. So we are going to subtract this. 30 minus 23. Please never forget, we are working with what base? We are working with what? Base 6. So let me subtract 30 minus 23. 0 minus 3 is not possible. So all I have to do is to borrow 1 from this 3 to remain what? 2. Now please don't forget, that one that you are borrowing is the base you are working with, which is what? 6. So if I put my 6 here, here becomes what? 6. 6 minus 3, I have what? 3. So therefore, my 30 minus 23 in base 6 is going to give me what? P3. Then what's the next thing? I now bring down what? These 2. We have this 32 here. So next step now, we are done with the divide, multiply, subtract, and bring down for the first step. So the next step now is start all over again to divide. 5 in 32. Now go to the multiplication table. Look for a number that is closest to where? 32 or the 32 itself. So if you look at this table, we have what? 5 in base 6 times 4 in base 2 give me what? 32. So therefore, if 5 should divide 32, what is my answer? My answer is going to be what? 4 in base 6. So I am putting 4 here. Now I have divided. Next thing is to do what now? Multiply. 4 times 5 is going to give me what? 32 in base what? 6. So I have 32. Next step is to do what? Subtract. 32 minus 32 in whatever base you subtract this is going to give us what? 0. And that solves the what? Question. So now we can now say 302 in base 6 divided by what? 5 in base 6 is going to give us what? This is the answer here. 34 in base 6. That's solved the question. So either ways, you are always correct. Either you convert to base 10 first, or you use this conversion method. Either way, you are going to get a what? Correct answer. Alright, that's solved this question number 1. Now let's go to question number what? Now we are going to the second example, which is second question, which is 3b 5e in base 16 divided by 8 in base 16. So you cannot argue with that 16 is known as hexadecimal. And in number basis, our A is what? 10, B is what? 11, C is what? 12, D is what? 13, and E is what? 14. So here we have 3b5e in base 16 divided by 8 in what? Base 16. So as you can see, I have created a table for multiplication table of base 16. That is 8 in base 16. So like I said in my first example, you are going to multiply this till you get to a number less than the base you are working with. So that's why we stop this one as what? 15. Here is 8 times 1, we have 8. 8 times 2 is what? 16. But 16 is higher than the base you are working with. So we divide by the base itself, which is what? 16. 16 divided by 16 is what? 1. Remainder what? 0. So that's why we are having 10 here as the answer. Same thing with this. 8 times 3 is what? 24. 24 is still higher. So we divide by what? The base I'm working with, which is what? 16. So now the 16 divided by 24. That's 2. No, sorry, that's 1, remainder 8. So that's why we have 18 like that. So that's how it's all done. Okay? So now let's come to this question here. Now the first step again, we use this 8 to divide 3b. Right? Now you now come to the multiplication table. Look for a number. This is 30 something, this should be 30 something, but this is 3b. So let's call it 3b. So it has as well 30 something. Look for the highest number of 30 something here. As you can see, these are the only ones that give us 30 something. 8 times 6 is what? 30. 8 times 7 gives us what? 38. So which one is the highest? Which is this one here? 38. So therefore, my 8 in 3b is going to give me what? 7. So we come to 7 here. So we have divided. Now let's say this is what? Multiply. 7 times 8 in base 16 is going to give me what? The same 38. So we have 38 here. So the next thing I'm going is to do what? Subtract. That is 3b minus okay, let us do it here. That's 3b minus 38. Now my b represents what? 11. 11 minus 8 is what? That should be 3, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 3. Why 3 minus 0 is going to give me what? 0. So that's the first step. Now the next thing is now to bring down this 5 here. If I bring down 5, what do I have? I have 35. I have 35. Now I'm going to divide again. Now see that this one here is clear. 8 in 35. So we look for a value that is giving me a number less than what? 35. That's the number closest to 35 in the multiplication table, which is what? 30 here, right? This one is higher, so we cannot use this one here. So therefore my 8 in 35 is what? 6. So I'm going to put my 6 here. I'm going to multiply again. 6 times 8 will still give me the same what? 30. So I have what here? 3 and 0. I subtract again. 5 minus 0 is what? 5. And I bring down my what? My E. You are following? Now, we are going to use this 8 again to also divide what? 5E. We look for a number that's the highest number of 50s in the what? The multiplication table. And that number is what? Here. This 58 here. So 8 in 5E is going to give me what? 11. Now please, we cannot put down 11 here. We are going to put down the alphabetical value of what? 11, which is what? B. So therefore, 8 in 5E is going to give me what? B. So I multiply again. This B is what? 11. So that will be 11 times 8 is going to give me what? 58. So I'm bringing it down here. That will be 58. Alright? So next thing is for me to subtract again. What is E? E is what? 14, as we have it here. So we have 14 minus 8. That will be what? 6. So I have my 6. 5 minus 5 is what? 0. Now let's go again. 8 in 6, not possible. So I add what? 0. If I add 0, I am going to use a decimal point here, which is this. So I can now go again. My 8 in 60 is what? We have 60 and division. 8 60 is going to be what? 12. So 12 in alphabetical form is what? C. So therefore my 8 in 60 is what? C. So I use my 6 multiply 8 to get back my what? 60. Therefore 6 minus 6 is going to be what? 0. So therefore we can now say that my 3B 5E in base 16 divided by 8 in base 16 is equal to what? 7/6B point C in base 16. And that is your final answer. Alright, so that solves the questions. Please, there are many questions you can get and solve. If you are having any problem with anyone, please just go to the comment section and put the question there. Or if you want any topic treated or explained, put down in the comment section. Thank you, and please don't forget to subscribe and share to your friends. Au revoir.